Oh, damn. Oh, boy. From Vince Wright. Doug, doing your child voice is creepy as hell. That's the best child voice I can do. Shut up. That's the best kid voice I can do. Shut up, Vince. From Clay, I'll be damned, Davis. I guess the Falcons threw a half-powerful spirit bomb at the Patriots. DBS. From Grego X Squad, the Patriots fan. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I got to get to this Kuiper. Maybe we'll get that in a little bit later. I'm going to read chat this whole damn segment. Oh, boy. From Thorny Switch. Thorny Switch says, Doug is really hurt over this. I thought he was a Panthers fan. Lie. Lie. Now, if the Patriots or the Panthers, if the Panthers would have lost in the same situation that the Falcons did the other night, I would have been torn up about that too, because technically I have the ability to root for the Carolina Panthers if I want to, because the Carolina Panthers are the state team for North Carolina and South Carolina. Oh, man. From Grego XY, did Doug cry for his Panthers like this? Once again, the Carolina Panthers is kind of like my secondary team that I root for. If the Panthers and the Falcons, I just have to tell y'all this. There's a lot of controversy around this subject for the new people that are tuning into the show. If the Carolina Panthers and Atlanta Falcons play, I'm rooting for the Falcons. You know, if the Carolina Panthers play anybody else, I'm rooting for the Carolina Panthers for the most part. Cam Newton, Westlake, ATL, shout. From Ducking and Dodging, I feel for Doug. His team's lost 2 Super Bowls in a row. That's a good damn point. Shit. From Sensational, if it wasn't for Clemson, Doug would be in a mental institution. Yeah. How about them Tigers, man? Hold that tiger. Hold that tiger. Hold that tiger. From Stagger Lee. What up, Q? He says the Falcons player is going to be remembered like Scott Norwood. That's right, kicker for the Giants. I mentioned how I think the first Super Bowl the Scott Norwood thing was the Giants and the Patriots. I don't think it was the Giants and the Bills. Or was it the Giants and the Bills? I'm not sure. But Scott Norwood is the kicker for the Giants that missed a field goal, an opportunity to win in one of those Super Bowls. I can't remember exactly, but I remember Scott Norwood, the kicker. Let's see. From KC, Doug has a secondary, third-dairy, and fourth-dairy team for the most part. From Stagger Lee, there was some stripper who had car notes that had to be paid Sunday. From RC, the Seahawks signed our former kicker. I just read that. From Griff, I understand, Doug. I'm a Washington fan, but will root for the Panthers because they're the home squad in North Carolina. Of course. But listen. Who was that just sent that message? From Griff? Griff, I ain't studying these folks talking about this Carolina Panthers stuff. Trust me on that, bro. Trust me on that. You know, that's a country term, stud. And I think you spell it STUD''N. Go ahead. Right. I ain't studying these folks. They know good and well that wasn't me in that darn Photoshop picture last year wearing a Steve Smith Carolina Panthers jersey. Clay, I'll be damned, David. Scott Norwood was the kicker for the Bills. Exactly. That's right. He was the kicker for the Bills when the Bills lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. Right. And couldn't have been the Patriots because they're both AFC teams. That's right. And Scott Norwood missed a field goal. and that started their futility. That was the only Super Bowl from what I remember in which they were in it to the very end. And then the other losses, 2, maybe 3 of which were to the Cowboys. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. No, I can't find it. Exactly the final scores of those games. Okay, yeah, here we go. So, they Super Bowls. No, I apologize. Okay, so yeah, they lost the first Super Bowl. They went to Super Bowl 25 to the Bills, or to the Giants, 20-19. Okay, so obviously the Scott Norwood kick at the very end. They lost the next Super Bowl to the Washington Redskins 37-24. So I don't remember exactly the particulars about who scored and when they scored or whatever, but that point differential, it wasn't as close as it was the first one. Then they lost the next one 52-17 to the Dallas Cowboys. Right. So that's what it was. I remember now. The more Super Bowls that they played, the further away they came from winning. You know, the first one was very close. The next one wasn't as close. The third one was a blowout. And the last one, in which they played the Dallas Cowboys again in the Super Bowl, was a total ass-kicking. Final score, Dallas 30, Buffalo Bills 13. Yeah, so it just got worse and worse and worse every year. That's a good question. We should put that up for a poll question. What do you think is worse, the Bulls or the Bills? The Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row, or the fashion in which the Falcons lost the other night? As a fan, you know, were you more hurt after the game the other night, or were you more hurt after the last loss in the Super Bowl to the Dallas Cowboys? What was it, 31-3 or 31-13 or 30-13? I don't know. That's a tough question, man. From I Ain't Begot No Weapon, I like that name. He says, I blame you, Doug. Ooh, he blames me. He says, all you had to do was give Brady the elbow of death last week, and we'd be eating leftover chicken wings right now. So it's my fault. That's fine, sir. If that'll make you feel better about yourself, your town, the fans, this city, and that organization, that's fine. I'll take that. If it's going to make you feel better. If it's going to make you feel better, sir, that's fine. That's fine. From LD from the D. Doug, my lines aren't any better. Shoot, I'd argue they're the worst. At least y'all have made it to the championship since it's been called the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, it's tough being a Lions fan, but I mean in such dramatic fashion, a loss. It can't be a more bitter loss in sports history. In sports history. There have been some come-from-behind wins, but not in the Super Bowl. There's been some big come-from-behind wins in all sports. Baseball, basketball, football. I'm sure if we did a quick search, we can find a bunch of them. But in the championship game like that? And maybe we got some diehard baseball purists that can give me in Game 7 of a World Series where a team came back. Literally, to equate that to a baseball game, it would have to be Game 7 of a World Series, and one team in the 7th inning would have to be up 8-1. That's the equivalent. Or it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and, a team is up in Game 7 of the NBA Finals by, 35 points with a little bit less than a quarter left in the game, a period left in the game. That's the equivalent. That shit don't happen. from one chance, that's the last Dallas versus Bills Super Bowl in 93 was in ATL, the Georgia Dome. 93 game season was in February 1994, of course. From Uncle Mike, I still hate that BB dude for hustling at the end of the game and tackling that touchdown away from Leon Lett. Just take the damn L. I remember that. Yeah. What was his name? I think his name was Don Beebe. They weren't going to win. Leon Lett was going to have the greatest moment a defensive lineman could have in the history of life. And he showboating and got the ball out, holding like a loaf of bread, and Don Beebe runs him down. Don Beebe was a fast white boy from what I remember. Runs him down and knocks the ball out of his hand. I think it was a touchback, or they gave the Bills the ball, or maybe a safety. I don't remember exactly what it was. But, yeah, that was bad. That was funny. I'm not a Cowboy fan, so I didn't care, but it was funny. From Grego XY, the fashion in which the Falcons lost, you people still crying, Buffalo Bills fans got over it. Well, I mean, there's plenty of time for Buffalo Bills fans to get over it, and I think we will get over it. I mean, that's just time heals all wounds. So at some point, we're going to have to move on. I get that. Still fresh, man. Still real fresh. I mean, it just happened 5 days ago, man. 5 days ago, we saw a historical meltdown. And it happened like right in front of our eyes. And it happened slow. It was like somebody stuck a knife in you and you twisted it. You know, it happened slow, but it happened fast at the same time. From Montana Jones, those loser fans still have to live in Buffalo. At least you guys live in ATL. Wow. I remember, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, quick little story. Shut up. You talk about economically down, the city of Buffalo. This is I'm going back now. So, you know, before I started in doing radio in the radio business, I was in the mortgage business. And so I worked for a company that did loans all over the country. And so several times I remember trying to get a loan done for somebody that lived in Buffalo, New York. And the big talk around the office was, you know, how inexpensive it was and how low the cost of living was in the city of Buffalo. Like literally $100,000 house in Atlanta. I'm just throwing out a square number. Let's say $200,000. A $200,000 house in Atlanta. Now this is like 1998 or something like that, 1995. But a house that was $200,000 in Atlanta, in Buffalo, would have been like, I don't know, $50,000. Right. And our agent, Norm Shrut, at the time, Norm is from Buffalo. And he always used to tell us about how, you know, economically depressed the Buffalo market is and how those fans in Buffalo, that's all that they have. They live and die with the Buffalo Bills because, you know, the economy is just so bad and the cost of living is just it's just incredibly different than what we're used to here in Atlanta. And he was like, man, those fans, I grew up like our lives revolved around the Buffalo Bills. And to lose 4 Super Bowls in a row, right. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think God may hate the Buffalo Bills more than he hates Atlanta. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's harsh. Like, God got a sense of humor. We'll let the Falcons lose, being up 28-3. And watch this. Like God talking to all of the angels. Watch this, angels. Watch this. I'm going to let the Bills lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. That hurts. All right. This is just therapy, man. I'm sorry. When we get back, a little entertainment news. more football talk. We barely